take it. Got it! Boston wins! Two legends in basketball analysis with over 70 years combined experience. This is the Bob Ryan and Jeff Goodman podcast. NBA, some college.
Okay, post-Turkey Day. Bob Ryan, Gary Tanguay, just rolling in here, folks. Brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of CLNS Media Network. Pick more, pick less with Prize Picks. Okay, Bob, the last time we talked about the Celtics, not a lot going on since. However, you have noticed that the league has been put on notice with, to be redundant, with the appearance of Mr. Porzingis.
Absolutely. They went off to a 14-3 start without him, the world had kind of semi-forgotten about him. And now that he's back, that first game, he got everybody's attention. And not just, the average fan is going to see the three-point shot and all that, but the league in general is reminded about what he means to the Celtics defense. And their numbers, they've been getting attacked in the paint.
Right.
I mean, in the midst of it, there were games when they lost and games where they were very lucky to survive after being shredded in the paint. And that nonsense stopped right away with Minnesota, and even with a potent force such as Gobert around. No, he's important to the defense as well as the offense. He's such. I mean, in general, this does give him. He's so much a better all-around player than I ever thought when they got him. I have to keep going back to the fact that when they got him, I went, well, all right, we'll see. I'm not big on 7'3" guys shooting jump shots all night long, and well, he's so much more than that. And but the thing was, he was just off the radar screen in Washington, particularly. Nobody watched the Wizards 2 years ago, so I had no idea what was going on. Anyway, he's back. We don't know how long he'll be back. We hope he's going to be around in the right time of the year. It's probably never going to change. He's always going to be injury. I don't know if the word should be prone, but injury. I don't know. Find the right word. Maybe it is injury prone.
I mean, I know what you're saying, injury prone, because you don't want that to be an insult, but his physical makeup makes him very susceptible.
Yeah. I mean, we were right. I mean, he had multiple injuries last year, and the injury that KO'd him after he got brought back had nothing to do with the one that kept him out for 37 days.
Right.
So that's the thing. People have to be cognizant. So I guess what we say is, as I like to point out in a lot of cases, and enjoy it while you get it, boys. Enjoy the ride. And this is why, I value the regular season in terms of the entertainment value. And he gave them a show the other night, and hopefully he's going to be able to give them, several more shows this year. But he's back. Now they got a gimme game. They better win on Friday night. And then they got appointment television 2 for the early season. They go to Cleveland. And in the midst of an NFL season, that's not going to get a lot of national attention. But in the world of the NBA, it's going to get a lot of attention. So they go to Cleveland on Sunday, and that's going to be that's going to be fun, no question.
Bob, with Porzingis, fact that he came into a team already with superstars, already with a structure, it probably enabled him to play freer. Now, like you said, in Washington, his numbers were better than people think. When he was with the Knicks, and then I got to be honest with you, I don't know what the hell happened in Dallas. But when he was with the Knicks, he was the guy, right? Haven't you seen players in the past that just don't do well in that role, but you bring them on another team where they don't have to be the guy and they flourish? Yeah,
many examples of that. Many examples of guys who were born to be number 3 or born to be number 2. Right. And he's a 2, a very valuable 2, if you will. By the way, I loved, just as an aside, when we honored D. Brown at the Tradition in Boston a week ago Wednesday, and what he told me in his story that I did on him was, he says, I was never a number 1. I was a pretty good number 2, but I'm a damn good number 3. And
right.
You know what? He's right, and that kind of self-awareness is all too rare in all sports, right?
Yes.
The guys who we're always on the lookout for guys who really know who they are and what their place is and what their role is and what their job is, and do not bring an overinflated ego to the situation. And that was a classic example. Anyway, Porzingis is a wonderful high-level adjunct player, and it gives him a very important force in the middle in a league where there are some acknowledged superstars at that position. Yeah, we know that. But he gives them all they need. He gives them exactly what they need.
Does he give them a psychological advantage? Because, as you said, we were talking earlier, you said, well, Porzingis in that one game put the league on notice.
Yeah, but we might and fans. Yeah, remember just how the difference. Yeah, absolutely. And it makes it. My God, they were 14-3 without him, and some of them were shaky. We agree to that. They were shaky, and fine. Nobody's winning 82 games, convincingly. Right. But it's just the good times should be back, and keep your fingers crossed on the injury thing. But it's welcome. We welcome the guy back. It's great.
I just think that if you're going into play the Celtics, and then especially in the opening round of the playoffs or in a playoff situation, then you look down and you say, "Oh, Porzingis is playing tonight." You're like, "Oh, geez, we had a shot until."
Our chances have been severely diminished. Yes,
diminished, and that enters in. Even though they're professional athlete, that enters into their heads. Okay, the Milwaukee Bucks at 9-9 now.
They started at 1-6 and 2-8, and we're saying, and I think I declared them done. I think I said the window's shut. They've won their last 5 as we speak. However, 4 at home. First 4 were at home. Mm-hmm. 2 of them were notable. 2, where you better win. They beat Houston, who have entered into the category of. You've got to respect. They beat the Bulls. They're not. The Bulls are. It's also in. They beat Indiana, and they're not playing the way they should. But then they beat Charlotte, and everybody beat Charlotte. And then they went to Miami and won by 3 points. And Lillard, and this is what I'm not. I'm not paying microscopic attention to them. But I got to figure that Lillard's playing better, or else this wouldn't be happening. Right. It took him an awful long time to acclimate himself, to Milwaukee and that team. The other guy that I love talking about, because to me it's one of the most fascinating stories and so emblematic of the way the league has changed over the years. Brook Lopez, who's now 36, and he's playing well right now at both ends of the floor. And until 2 years ago, I never even thought did you ever think of him as a major defensive deterrent? Rim the first quarter. No. Well, I didn't either, but he is, and it's an important part of their game. And the other thing is his reinvention. He's the greatest example of a big man recognizing how the world has changed. Because I urge everybody, just go back and look up what his career trend was on threes, and how the first X years of his career, 4, 5, 6 years, he barely took double figures combined, and now he's a major 3-point threat. He's made himself. Sure. That's a tribute to a guy that he must have spent a lot of hours in the gym, Gary, to do that, and he did. And
didn't he had a devastating leg injury too?
Yeah, right.
I think he probably felt like he had to reinvent himself at some point.
Well, he sure did, and it's given him, So anyway, I'm a doc phobe, that. I mean, file, excuse me, not phobe.
Oh yeah, no, I got you.
Doc file. I'm happy for Doc. His reputation has taken a real beating, in the last couple of years. Let's face it. Ever since he left here, the playoff failures with the Clippers were, and of course the 76ers, and now and last year with Milwaukee, he had no positive effect on them whatsoever that we could see. So I'm hoping that that I want Doc to do well, not well enough to beat the Celtics, but I want him to do well. So by the way, Giannis, he's long since reached a point where he's taken for granted. We just take this nightly incredible athleticism and stuff. He's averaging 32 points a game as I speak. Right. Okay, he's leading the league. He's a previous MVP. He's nowhere. He's still got. He's as good as he's ever been, and appreciate the guy. The guy's an all-time great, and he's so as long as they got him every night, they go out on the floor. They got a chance to win. But they're back and they're back in 500 and on their way. They'll be in that 4, 5, 6 category. I think in the playoff thing. So
all right, coming up next, Bob's going to break down the East and West, and he has there are some discrepancies he's going to bring to the floor. But first, going to tell you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. 10 million members, billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Just pick more or less, or at least 2 players, for a shot to win up 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long with Prize Picks. And Prize Picks is the best way to get real money sports action. 10 million users sign up today. They invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out If your lineup isn't perfect, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When your pick hits, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. So sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to get the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this basketball season. Which player's going to go off? Who's going to do it next? It's going to be LaMelo? What do you think? Which ones aren't going to go off? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Again, just more or less, that's it. This week, we're looking at the basketball board and say Doncic for over 31.5 points, Steph Curry for more than 4 3-pointers. And download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app. Use code CLNS to get your $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Prize Picks, run your game. Okay, Bob. We get back to it now here. And East-West, you've done some research, my friend.
Just when I starting to think the last year, the gap was sufficiently closing between the East and the West. Things have rarely been worse this year. How many Eastern teams do you think are over 500 as we speak?
Got it. 3.
4.
Okay.
How many West teams do you think are over 500 as we speak?
5, 6.
10.
10 are over 500?
Golden State, Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Rockets, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Spurs, Thunder, Nuggets, 10. And
wow. Yeah, you said this is I should have gone for a bigger number. You said there was a discrepancy.
The conference, no Eastern Conference a division, is over 500. The Atlantic is 42 and 49 as we speak. Southeast is 37 and 53. And the Central, including a 17 and 2 team, is 34 and 43.
But the East is top heavy.
It's 51 and 45, including without you subtract Cleveland, it's 34 and 40. But the Central is over 500, thanks to Cleveland. Only thanks to Cleveland. Okay. Now in the West, Golden State, the Pacific is 54 and 39, including they're very analogous to the NFC West because Golden State's 12 and 6, LA Lakers are 11 and 7. Clippers are 12 and 8, and Phoenix is 10 and 8. And as you well know, the NFC West is completely on a 5-way tie almost, damn it. Okay. The Southwest Conference is 51 and 45, and the Northwest is under at 43 and 47. But the fact is, the discrepancy, 10 over 500 in the West, 4 over 500 in the East, and people, if you want to know why, the answer is, I don't know. We can look at who the teams are and how they got this way. Is there some kind of geographic pattern? I don't see how there could be. Just luck of the draw.
I think I look at the East as being top heavy. That the favorite, that you have the Celtics, and we'll wait and see what happens with Cleveland. But right now it's the Celtics and Cleveland, and pretty much anybody else. But out West is just, I don't know, more parity. We'd have to look at the schedule.
But why, you wonder how this evolved. This has been going on for quite a while. The West, over quite a while.
Well, I thought the East was going to put a dent in it a few years back. But the problem is Philadelphia has never lived up to the billing, and the Knicks aren't living up to the billing. So I thought when Philadelphia started playing well, then the Knicks got Tibbs and got some players. I thought there was going to be sort of a changing of the guard, if you will, because I thought Phoenix was getting older. I thought Golden State was done. Obviously, I was wrong.
No, Golden State
was done.
I got to give them credit that they put some faith in some younger players, and they're being rewarded to a degree with that faith. They've sufficiently managed to replace Klay Thompson with Buddy Hield. He's doing a good job, about as well as Klay Thompson is doing it in the Mavericks, even better. And Curry hasn't appeared to lose a damn thing. He hasn't lost anything. He's at his age. And Kerr is obviously a superior coach. But I never would have thought that they'd be at the top of the division. Then again, you say, well, who? However, in the conference, you always figure, Denver's underachieving. Oklahoma City is pretty much living up to it. Minnesota's underachieving, right? We think.
Right.
And now, how about this latest? Anthony Edwards is calling him out. Oh boy, good luck to that out there.
Well, I'm telling you, that is a that's going to explode.
He's calling him out. Oh boy. Anyway, the West dominance is as much as it's ever been.
But I understand what you're saying, Bob, as far as the numbers go. But don't you feel the championships coming out of the East?
Well, right now, right. Having said that, obviously the two teams right now, playoffs started tonight. They'd be the favorites. Two of them.
Well, okay, let's have some fun with this. So, when Milwaukee's making a comeback, and arguably, no disrespect to Tatum and Brown, but I mean, the Freak is arguably the best player in the league, correct?
He or Jokic?
Okay, fine. Okay, and then so out of the East, if Milwaukee gets their act together with that guy, and if Lillard finds his way in the playoffs, I mean, Milwaukee is a threat to win it. You love the Knicks. I don't know if the Knicks can win it. I don't know. And then
their offense, they just had this incredible run. They went 130 and 145 in a
right.
stretch. But their defense is not Tibbs kind of defense yet. And they're very thin. They're very dependent on because Miles McBride, who tortured the Celtics on opening night, Miles McBride is hurt right now. Their bench is really thin. It's all about those five guys. And Tibbs has been criticized in the past for overworking his starters, and he's very defensive about it. But right now he's playing them heavy minutes again. I think it's time for them to. Their offense is good. I mean, it's really good. They'll put some serious numbers up, but they're not playing the kind of two-way basketball that you think they would be playing. But right now, they're 10-8, and that was after a real bad start. So I think they'll get better.
But your real contenders, I mean, if you thought, I don't know if the Knicks could win a title. I thought Philadelphia might have had a shot, but they're a mess. I mean, that's just not working.
3-14, ladies and gentlemen, they're one game ahead of the Wizards.
I mean, that's just a mental thing. They're going to have to blow it up. There's obviously not a lot of happy players there. So, I mean, you have the Celtics, you have the Bucks, then I guess you have Golden State and probably Denver. Would you throw Dallas in there? So, there's a lot of, like you mentioned, there's a lot of parity, but how many real championship contenders are there?
I really think, no. I mean, Oklahoma City, clearly, yes. They're 14-4. I think they're legit. Denver is not playing the way they can or should or maybe will. No matter how well Golden State's playing, they're not winning the championship. That Lakers team is a little bit better than I thought they'd be because they have added some good players that have helped.
You don't think Golden State can win another one?
With this group, boy, I can't. I just can't see them. I can't. Okay. I give them credit for doing what they're doing, but I just and by the way, they're starting to stumble. They've lost, and I think it's going to come down to Oklahoma City versus the field in the West. Frankly, for the
okay. Well, there you go.
All right, now we got to turn our attention to the world of semi-pro basketball, namely the American colleges, where a very disturbing in different levels thing happened in Maui, where the coach of the two-time defending national champion UConn Huskies, truly, if ever a coach lost the game, and you can put the blame on him, and it was Danny Hurley with the score tied and 40 seconds to go, coming off two straight losses to unranked teams, picks up a whiny technical. Yeah, it was a bad call. I saw it. I've seen it. Wasn't the worst call in the history of American civilization. It was a marginal call. It was a bad call. He went nuts and got himself thrown out of the game with the accompanying technicals and with the 4 free throws that were awarded to the opponent. They made them all, and UConn lost. And how can he look his team in the eye? And he's very defensive.
He is.
What I want to know. I mean, all right. So it's been highly observed that he's very volatile and he's and fiery, all these wonderful adjectives, and it's part of his charm because he's a fiery, intense guy and blah blah blah. And when you win 2 championships in a row, you get indulged in any sport, right? You get indulged. But where's he? Is the AD going to censure him in any way? Is the
no way.
Is the school president? I say, hey, This is not the kind of way we represent it to the world.
I mean, look. That guy. No one's going to say anything to that guy. That's the way it goes. That's yeah. No, I agree. Especially with the fact, act like you've been there before. Especially when you've won like 2 titles. And you just got a big contract. I mean, you can relax a little bit, and maybe you just.
Oh God, he's set for life and many lives. But anyway, there comes a point where being fiery and colorful and
it gets old.
You draw the line, right?
Well, it gets old, especially. I mean, it's okay if you win. He's set. He's not. His job is not in jeopardy. Believe me.
No, of course
but
not.
you can get away with that stuff when you're winning. That's the great thing. But
But when you're directly the primary reason why your team loses the game and because of your sideline actions,
right?
That's rare. I cannot cite another example that comes to my mind in of that nature.
And he really went after the refs in the press conference.
Yeah,
I mean, he really went after him. Like he took no accountability.
No, everybody should be respecting and defending me because I was just standing up for my team's rights and all that nonsense. Oh no, you can't do that. But he did do it, and you're right. He probably would be left free to do whatever he wants. They're going to bounce back. Although Alex Caravan, arguably their best player, may have suffered a concussion. We're going to find out about him. He was cleared to fly home, which is a start, but he banged his head on the floor and late. And that's an NBA prospect there, Alex Caravan. But they got plenty of time to right the ship. And then, of course, once you get in the tournament, eventually,
who knows what happens?
Anything can happen. We've seen 10 lost teams win the tournament. So hello Villanova 85. So and hello North Carolina State 83. So it can happen. But anyway, I just think it's not a good thing.
No, it's not a great look. Not a great look. Okay, coming up next, we're going to talk about LaMelo putting up some numbers. But first, we have to tell you about Game Time. Look, if you want to go see a sporting event, what you do is you get the Game Time app, you put in your zip code, where you live, then you can set up your page so you can look at all tickets that are in your market, whether it be Los Angeles, Chicago, Des Moines, Bangor, Maine, Boston, Massachusetts, whatever. And then you find out just at the click of a button how you get the best deals. Great deals on Bruins tickets, Celtics tickets, Patriots tickets, when the Red Sox are in season, or Boston College, whatever you happen to be into. And they have a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes selling tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out all the fluff to show you incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They've got the super deal. And listen, when it comes to Game Time, you can customize your spot. Customize your spot, make the page yours. Guaranteed deals make it easier to find the best price with great seats. And plus, they have the seat view before you buy. You just click on the seat, you get the view to the floor so you know exactly what you're getting. They have the lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection with Game Time. So check it out. Oh, they also have Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. Okay, Bob. LaMelo Ball, you wanted to sing his praises a bit. He's putting up some individual stats, but they're not resulting in team wins.
No, he's as hot in the scoring guy as there is in the league right now. He's coming off a 42-point game or 44, taking a lot of shots. He's turning the clock back to the NBA I grew up with. And I'm serious. And I'm talking about 50s and 60s, as well as the 70s when I actually covered and began covering. When, guys, nobody shot 50%, Gary,
Right.
Maybe Wilt because of, all the dunks and stuff.
Yeah.
But you didn't shoot. You to score, you got to get some shots up. And it wasn't uncommon for somebody to take 40 shots. And by the way, tonight Wilt had 100. I'm laughing about this now. Wilt took 63 shots and made 36. And he also was 28 for 32 from the line, which means he was fouled one way or the other 16 more times. And wouldn't you love to see that game and see how you get all that done in 48 minutes? You know. Anyway,
you want the evidence.
LaMelo, I think he took 40 shots the other day. He took a lot of shots. I haven't seen that in a while. And he's talented. He's an offensive machine. Okay. And Daddy Lamar was right. Lonzo was when he's problem is that they both get hurt, and Lonzo's hurt now again. They really were as I don't know as good as Lamar said they were, but he was right. They were definitely NBA players of stature, both of them, LaMelo and Lonzo.
Well, Bob, I didn't think they'd be around this long. Like the way the father talked and how obnoxious he was, I was just like, these kids are. There's no way they could be this good. They're still around.
Oh, they are, so now the thing is with LaMelo, he's putting up the points, and I forget the numbers, but the numbers are there. That the more points he scores, the more they lose. The less points he scores, the better chance they have of winning. Now, I think that's not uncommon. That's nothing. That's certainly something that a phenomenon that's happened many times with many schools over the years. And they may have to reconsider how they're doing things in that, in that franchise. But I guess I just want to say, in terms of the skill, the raw skill level, the young man is an excellent player. He's a scary guy going up and down the court. He goes to the basket really well. And you didn't want Lamar to be right. Not that you wanted bad things for the kids, but you couldn't have both, I guess. But Lamar, you were right. The kids can play. Okay. All right. There you go.
and the daddy has been fairly quiet.
We haven't heard from him in years. That's good.
No, that is a good thing. I think maybe the kid said, listen, Pops, enough. We love you, but enough.
Exactly.
All right, Bob. So did you have a good Thanksgiving?
We had a very nice family-oriented. We got my 3 grandchildren all together here, the triplets, and with my grandson's girlfriend and a college friend of his, and so from St. Michael's, good old St. Michael's of Winooski, Vermont, and St. Mike's. So it's my, but the real treat is ahead of us, because nothing's better than the follow-up leftover dinner. It's even better. Somehow, it's always better.
It is.
I can't wait to get at that. That's back at that stuffing. I'll tell you that right now.
Bob, great minds think alike. Enjoy it, my friend. Brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of CLNS Media Network. Pick more, pick less with Prize Picks. Until next week, Bob Ryan, we'll see you later.